To Solopreneur Success Strategies, and I'm Jane Gardner. Welcome to Get Your Message Out Tuesday on Solopreneur Success Strategies. Today we're going to be talking about your brand. I'd like to first say, though, that who I am quickly. I am Jane Gardner. I work with my husband for the last 20 years in our own structural engineering company. In home-based, of course, and we have dogs and cats. We travel. I'm an artist, and we live in Western Canada. So today I want to try and make my training quick. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Today I want to talk about, talk about your brand. We're going to wrap it up today on your brand. We did about 4 weeks on your brand on Get Your Message Out Tuesday of Solopreneur Success Strategies. And if you want to hear any of the other episodes or see any of the won't be able to see any of the episodes yet. I haven't set them up into an account for all the videos, but you're welcome to go to my channel at http://jgtips.com/YouTube. And that'll get you straight to the playlist for Solopreneur Strategies Success channel. And all the episodes will be there. I do an episode on mindset on Monday. Tuesday, it's Get Your Message Out branding and website and social media. So we'll be talking about all the social media later. Wednesday, we're talking on World Domination Wednesday about your customer. Right now, it's who is your customer profile. And later, it will be how to get your customers and then how to keep your customers with customer service. Thursday is Jack or Jill of All Trades Thursday, where we talk about the skills and knowledge you need as an entrepreneur, solopreneur especially. We have talked about HTML for your website to keep it under control for yourself, but now we're talking about your business numbers. So, of course, you can look at all the past episodes on that on Solopreneur Success Strategies on YouTube. And then Friday, we have Freebie Fridays, where we talk about some of the free software that you can use in your business. Saturday, I just set that up as System Saturday, where we're going to be talking about some of the business systems you can put into your business so that it will save you time and give you time, of course, to grow your business as well as be with your family when you need to. And Sunday is Strategy Sunday, where we just started talking about what your goal and vision is for your business, and then how is that going to affect how you design your business plan and get your business out there. So it's a full week, and they're all over on YouTube at http://jgtips.com/YouTube. I should have a lower third on that for my video next time, maybe. But today it's Get Your Message Out Tuesday, so you're going to have to listen for most of my links today. So let's go and talk about your brand and what we've been talking about. So here we go. We'll be talking about Get Your Message Out Tuesday. We have 4-week trainings on you and your brand, which we have been talking about for the last 4 weeks. We'll be summing up today. Then we'll be going on to you and your website, and then you and your social media, and look at the various social media platforms. This is all about your message. What is your message? And how do you decide what your messaging is going to be? Well, of course, you start with your brand. So that's what we're doing today. And well, we did for the last 4 weeks. So right now we've sort of summing up. You already figured out what your brand is. So here we go. So after there are probably now 3.4 billion people on the internet. And how are you going to find these people that are going to be your tribe, the people that are interested in what you have as a product or service or your business? Well, you have to, of course, use messaging, either on your website, on your branding, or, of course, out in social media. So that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about what the definition of a personal brand is. Basically, it's all about you. What your values are, what your beliefs are, your mission, and basically your personal brand is defined as. So right now, I'm using my personal brand in order to get out there and share my messaging from Jane-Gardner, Jane-Gardner.com. And Oprah, of course, we all know Oprah. She's a personal brand, as the Rolling Stones are. They're unique, and you know what they stand for. Whereas a business brand is all about perceived value. So it's all about what you think is the business brand for each business out there. So if you just look at the Nike logo, they've been clear in their messaging, so you're aware what the perceived value is for Nike versus a pair of shoes that you don't know who the brand is. So let's just go off on here and just see something. Okay, so you look at how a brand, whether personal or business, can keep themselves top of the customer's mind. So I have a course on 6-day intensive to being a brand ninja. You can go to http://jgtips.com/brand to have a look at it. And in 6 days, we'll look at identifying your unique benefits of your business, how to differentiate yourself from your competitors, how to identify your core market, and maybe you have some sub-markets that you can market to, and knowing all of this, how you can name your product or business, and some of the key advice for that, as well as how to do it quickly. And develop your brand messaging, measure your effectiveness of your brand messaging, and then reassess and refine your message as you go along. Once you have your messaging, you can attract your ideal customer. Oh, I see what I've done. Anyway, obviously I'm not doing a very good job of identifying my ideal customer because my slides are too small. There we go. Nope. There we go. They're smaller now for those of you on the video so we can see everything. And for those on you on the audio, once you have your messaging, you can attract your ideal customer. So today, I believe we're going to be talking about a brand. A brand is I like to think of it, is your promise. It's your commitment and what you stand for and stand against in your business. It's all about your messaging. It is your messaging that is consistent, accepted by your customer, and has a unique edge to differentiate yourself from your competitors. So if you can develop a brand that is that distinct, that has a promise, a commitment, people know what you stand for and stand against, and has a unique way to differentiate yourself from your competitors, then you're doing a very good job. But there are 7 steps to business branding. So you have to identify your paying market. You have to target your customer in the market. You have to name your business so it's easy to read and remember. You need to focus then, of course, after you've identified your market and your business benefits and target your customer and have a customer profile. You need to focus on the elements, which are finally your logo and your colors, etc., and your brand for your brand. And then today we're going to look at implementing strategies to measure your brand success. But after you do implement, you can measure your brand success and then refine your strategy and narrow your brand targeting as you go along. You do not stay with the same branding you start out with, because as you go you will change and refine your brand strategy and your brand messaging as you go along, once you see how the customer or potential customer, of course, and prospects respond to your branding. So today we'll just briefly give you some of the ideas of what you should be thinking about once you've looked at your customer profile and your brand and your business benefits and what makes you unique. Is the strategy that you have to have when you're a brand is you have to be consistent in your messaging. You have to have unique messaging from your competitors so people can recognize that it's you. You have to have customers who are willing to accept your messaging and like your messaging. obviously, and you have to be a household name for your brand. If you've done one, been consistent, been unique, and customers accept you, then you become a household name as your customers come to you for the product or service that you have. So for your brand, what is your goal as your brand to do your messaging? Do you want to be known for your values and beliefs? Especially as a personal brand, you would probably want to be known for that. Do you want to have branding colors to attract your ideal market? Or do you want to accept your brand name to become so familiar and consistent out there that people recognize you as a brand? What is your brand goal for your strategy today? This will affect your type of messages and your budget for that message. So you have to have, believe it or not, a branding marketing plan. A brand marketing plan. I know you have to have a marketing plan, but it's almost the same thing, because your brand is your messaging, and obviously your marketing is your messaging, which you're going out to attract your customers and prospects. But anyway, plan your brand strategy for the next 5 years. Have a clear vision of where you want your business to be in 5 years. Do you want it to be a household name? Do you want it to be an internet name? Do you want it to be known for in 5 years? Do you want it to be on top of Google, which seems to be obsession on the internet these days, to be top of Google when you're in search? As mentioned last week, you have to pre-test and assess as you go with your messaging and get feedback. But how will you be consistent in your messaging? Which elements, your logo, color, message can change, or does it have to be consistent through the next 5 years? Which offerings and products or services can or will change over the next 5 years, and how will that affect your marketing? So in the way, you have to do your goals and vision for your business, as well as look at it in terms of your branding. So which elements will your target market want to remain the same? A lot of time, people are in the habit, and they like to have the same tagline or the same logo, etc. And it's up to you getting feedback from your customer in order to see what they would find to be the thing that they would like to be consistent and what they don't mind changing. So there's 12 strategies to use for your messaging. Obviously there's more, but let's just work with the 12 for now. Obviously, to get your messaging out, you have to go onto social media, and you have to use social media ads. So you have to have consistent and familiar, and get some customer acceptance for the type of ads that you get out there. You can use YouTube videos. You can have Pinterest pin boards, which have your messaging on them. Your blogging can have to do with all your messaging, which certainly it should. You should have consistent ideas on your website and your blogging that you wish to talk about. Your webinars should have consistent messaging. You could have a contest where you go out with your messages and see what the kind of response there is, as well as polls. You could take polls out there and have a look at your brand and how people respond to your brand. You could go to local public events and just see how they respond to your brand and messaging that you use. And charity sponsorships, you could use that to get your message out. Or you could use direct marketing, flyers and postcards and that kind of thing in order to get your message out. You could use email campaigns and see what kind of response people get to your messaging. Or you could just give out free samples of your business, really, and see how they respond to your brand and your message. So those are some strategies that you can use to get your message out. And as I mentioned before, I have a 6-day intensive to becoming a brand ninja. You go to http://tips.com/brand, and we go and we will in 6 days identify your unique benefits of your business, how you differentiate yourself from your competitors, maybe identify how to find your core market and submarkets for your business, how to name your product or business to make it simple and easy for people to remember, as well as logos, etc. Once you've figured out what your messaging will be and what your competitors are, as well as who are your customers, and what will they respond to, and then develop your brand messaging, and then measure its effectiveness, and then reassess and refine. Because once you have your messaging, you can attract your ideal customer and your ideal prospect. So that's at http://jgtips.com/brand. And obviously in the 6 days, we are just going to be talking about various things in videos and giving you some action plans and worksheets to work with. And then I have 5 weeks of access to me. You're welcome to email me with your questions and get some feedback on how you're developing your messaging and seeing how that works for your customer and your prospects. So you can go to, well, there's the same offer for anyone on the video at the top, but you can go to http://jgtips.com/GYMOT to get the current episode of the show. And you can contact me at jgardner, JGARDNER, at Jane Gardner, Jane-Gardner, Jane-Gardner.com if you have any questions. So that's basically the wrap up for brand as far as what I'm going to talk about today. It's been 4 weeks of you and your brand. And basically we looked at how you have to really look at your business first, your benefits and your products and your services, before you even think about what you're going to be using as a brand. What are the benefits and who are the customers who will be attracted to the benefit and the results from your business? I think I mentioned also before that on World Domination Wednesday, we have a discussion on how to find your ideal customer. And then, of course, once you figure out who they are and what they might be attracted by, you can then go and develop your brand and logo and your elements of your business that will be your brand and your message. So on your website and on your, on your brochures, etc. So next week we'll be looking at your website and some of the features of the website that you need to have that will be things that express your messaging for your brand, as well as expressing the message of your business. And then from there, we'll look at also places on your website that you can use for messaging, et cetera, et cetera. And then after that, we'll be looking at social media and how we go out onto the social media platforms, the various ones, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., and show what our messaging is on those. So it's a full year. There's lots of social media platforms to go, and each time we'll probably look at 4-week trainings on first off how to set up your the first would be what's your messaging, and then also some quick how to set up your brand onto Facebook, for example, and then what kind of messaging you can use on Facebook and how it's different from the other platforms. So thank you for listening. It's been Jane Gardner again at Get Your Message Out Tuesday. I hope you found it of value, and you can subscribe to my podcast, of course, at iTunes. I'm not sure what that is. I guess I better make a link. http://jgtips.com/iTunes. Or we could actually you could also, if you're on SoundCloud, you could go to http://jgtips.com/SoundCloud. So I'll have to go make those links for you. And of course, you can always come to the website and find other things there. I'm not sure if I have anything. I've forgotten now if I have anything. Do I have anything for... No, I don't have anything for Get Your Message Out Tuesday yet. I'll figure something out for you. Oh yeah, I've got lots of stuff. Sorry. I've got lots of stuff for the social media, but I haven't got anything there yet for, oh yes, I do. Now I remember. It's called Personal Branding, versus Business Branding. It's an ebook, and it was what we worked with when we were talking about your personal brand versus your business brand. And it's there on my current episode for Get Your Message Out Tuesday. There's a link so you can subscribe, and of course later get all the various lead opt-ins that I'll be talking about. Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook, all these checklists, etc. So it's worth subscribing to http://jgtips.com/mites GYMOT, which is where hopefully the current episode of Get Your Message Out Tuesday is. So see you there, and I hope you'll come and follow along and start creating your brand for your business, which is all about your messaging and all about your values, your promise, your commitment, and what you stand for and stand against in your business and who you are. So thank you for listening again, and I'll see you later. Next week, it's website.